Well, hi guys and gals, it's me George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man, and I wanted to just give you a real quick update on the engine assembly. This is pretty much a mock-up at the moment. That carburetor over there is mounted permanently. This one is not. I have to remake my intake manifold. I had mentioned before that when I welded the flange on, I got it a little twisted. Well, it's really twisted more than I can do by just slotting the hole. I mean, I'm missing the hole big time down there. So I've got to redo that one, which means I got to buy another couple more washers. That's not a big deal. They're relatively inexpensive. I'm not sure if I like this paint job on the flywheel. It's just sitting on there. I have a chrome lug nut cover that goes on here once it's mounted in place. My breather assemblies are done and installed, and you can see I have one of the breathers installed in place. I'll have to get another one to match that one. I'm not sure I'm going to do that. I've seen some that are more closely related to the air cleaners, and so I may buy a pair of them. And I have another problem with my air cleaners. I didn't realize when I was purchasing them that this one here, the flange is almost flush with the bottom of the cleaner unit. This one here has it's got kind of a funnel shape on it. So this one sits higher than that one. Don't like that. This is a temporary, but more or less the way the fuel lines are going to be set up. This will come across here. My supply line will be here, maybe. Depends on my exhaust. Speaking of which, let's come around here. At the moment, I have these two pipe adapters on here. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them or not. I'm going to be running into issues with my exhaust and my linkage for the carburetors. I think this is the way it's going to be, but you know how it goes. There's no plans for this, no directions, no parts list. So it's George comes up with a solution for each problem that we run up against. And that's part of the enjoyment for me. Whale and Wire says the same thing. And that's part of the creative process. So I made up these two brackets here. I was trying to come up with something to bolt onto the front here to mount this. I would like this to be down lower. But I also wanted it to be spread out. And what's going to make a difference on this is when I set the motor in place and put the body on, this may interfere with a firewall. So we'll see. I mean, worst comes to worst, I can just bend these tabs down here and push it back. I'd have to swing these up more towards the middle, which I can do. It's only one bolt down there. But I'd like to keep them spread out as much as possible. You can see the linkage that is hooked up here, and it's just temporary. Nothing's attached permanently, but it'll give you an idea of what we're trying to go to. And that's working off of these little flanges down here. These came off of some small engine carburetor assembly, and I had 3 or 4 of them, so I'm using them. Got a nice shape to them. They still got to be cleaned up, painted. This one here, depending on where my throttle linkage will go, will get moved across, and once we get this permanently situated, I will have a lock nut on here, and probably I will weld one of the nuts right to our pieces here, so that it'll be solid, so when it gets put on and then the jam nut is against it, it's not going to move. this will have a jam nut on either side, and this one will also have a jam nut on the inside here, and probably this will be welded onto the jam nut so that and my acorn caps on the ends will be thread locked and so forth. These screws down here have thread lock on them. This carburetor here that's all bolted in place with the little button head screws, those all have thread locker on them, both there and also where it goes up into the carburetor itself. Button head screws, stainless steel, so they don't rust. Yeah, we're getting there. I haven't put the heads on yet. I have been leaving them off so I don't be beating up on them all the time. But let me grab one and I'll show you how they're going to look when they're installed. Now with one of the heads just sitting in place, I just got two screws set in there loosely, and you can see I will be having chrome acorns on all head bolts when they're installed, and I'm hoping to have red spark plug wires like this going down to my new coil. I have a new coil coming. The other one's pretty rusty and grungy looking. So that's where we're headed. Yeah, there's the money shot right there. What do you think? I should put up a clean background so you can get a really good money shot. But that's where we're at. Like I said, a lot of this is mock-up. I've spent the last 3 or 4 hours just tinkering with the linkage for the carburetor, and it's just sitting there. Got to make adjustments and fine-tune it, and I won't be able to completely finish it until I know how it's going to fit with the body. So one of the, well, not the next thing, I'm going to get the heads on and get that buttoned up so the engine is pretty much buttoned up, remake that manifold, and yeah, so we'll take care of all of that stuff, and we'll have to, you know, do things to tidy up our tubing and wiring. But I think my next thing is I really need to get the Goofy Cart frame out and get it washed, pull the transmission off over there. You can see I've got the rear wheels on, so it's almost ready to go. And I could take it out and pressure wash it and bring it back in, and I can repaint the engine area here, and we'll go from there. Oh yeah, I did buy a new battery for it, about the same size as the one that was in it. This is a motorcycle battery. It's got a 3-year warranty, and it has what's it, 12 amp hour battery. It's the biggest I could get. No, 14 amp hour battery. The biggest I could get for the most cranking possibilities. So the one I had before was only 1-year warranty, and it didn't last that long. Yeah, I've cleaned this up and modified it. It's ready to go back onto. Had to notch it here so that my engine mounting bolt can be dropped down into place once we get it in the final location. There you go. All right then, no more babbling. Thanks for commenting, for watching, for following along, thumbs up, sharing, all them good things. Till next time, well, this is going to be quite the thing, isn't it? Dual carbs, dual exhaust. Ooh, hang on, Goofy. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.